I have notes basically analyzing his whole sermon, and if the demonstration was necessary.
Hello. Welcome back to another glorious episode of the Tents and Tabernacles podcast, where we meet God through the person of Jesus Christ. And we got something a little new for you guys today. We're going to call it the Church Bulletin. Okay. Now, the Church Bulletin is Christian current events.
Yes.
And our opinions on such matters, because sometimes we want to exegete the text, and then other times we just want to have a key.
We just want to talk sometimes.
Yeah. So
while giving you guys more content in the process, because we know you would like to hear us twice a week.
I know you don't want to hear us. I want to hear us. Is that
right? We listen to ourselves
multiple times.
But not enough times to not know if people are actually listening.
Yeah.
Because I try to only watch one time per platform, so I know that, when I see 12 plays, it's not me.
Right.
It's somebody out there.
That part.
Thank God for analytics. Thank you, Anchor and YouTube, for your analytics.
Yes.
And Instagram.
Yes.
Oh, if you like the video, if you're on YouTube, right now. Smash the notification bell and subscribe. You know the deal. You know how it runs in these YouTube streets.
Okay? Yeah. Okay. Now we got all that out the way. The spit hit the fan on Sunday.
The spit,
and if you are living under a rock, you probably don't know. But for those of you who are above ground, the Mike Todd situation where he put spit on his brother's eyes, that happened this past Sunday.
So nasty.
Yeah, it was disgusting. He later apologized, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But Christian TikTok went off.
Yes.
And they went off mad late. I was expecting them to go off on Monday. I didn't start seeing stuff. What's today? Wednesday? I didn't start seeing stuff till yesterday.
People are still talking about it. I thought it would have been over. But I think some people didn't find out till later, because some people don't even know. You think we know who Mike Todd is, I think. And I don't know if it's because we're closer to the community because we're Black. Maybe. But there are people who don't know who Mike Todd is.
That is very true.
They be like, there's this pastor, and I'm like, this pastor, like they don't even know who he is.
Relationship goals, crazy faith,
they don't know. They don't know about that.
It
is crazy because he has so many followers. You would think everybody knows him, but there are still people who do not know who you are.
Yeah, he is for a very specific crowd, though. So he knows his audience. But I mean, he didn't really know his audience this past Sunday because everybody was like, ugh.
I will make a disclaimer too. We did say on Instagram that we were not talking about this, but the way we were going to talk about it before was very different.
Yeah, we're not going to drag him. We're really talking about Christian TikTok. And
we were going to go in. I have notes basically analyzing his whole sermon, and if the demonstration was necessary, and it was not. But I'm glad we waited till the apology.
Yes. Sometimes you just gotta wait.
About to go straight in.
Oh, for sure. We was about to not read him for filth, but
God said wait, and we did.
Yeah. And we did. And I'm glad we did, because we would have looked like we had spit on our faces. So
so now we're just here for the jokes.
Basically. It's crazy because there's two camps. So on the Christian church TikTok, there's those who are like, okay, this was in bad taste, it was hilarious, but it is what it is. And then there's another one that's like, he should be fired. Now,
not he should be fired.
There's no middle.
Seen that one yet.
it
Well,
like
yeah, the fire thing, like, we should stop listening to him, so that's fire.
basically,
Yeah.
like, he should be canceled, like,
Mhm.
no one should ever attend his church ever again, like, I'm no longer like, this is the reason why I left the church, like,
Ugh.
no, that's not the reason why you left the church. You probably left the church a couple months ago, and you just needed a reason, so you pinned it on him, but that's neither here nor there. It's
Mhm.
just the fact that, like, no one can come into a consensus that, like, we all said ew at the same time.
I went back today. I was looking at Christian TikTok. Well, I was on TikTok and I just searched Mike Todd spit. And when I listened to when I listened to it again, because I was trying not to watch it because it really disturbed me. Like
Yeah, I
what
can't
disturbed me
rewatch
was
it.
the spit dripping down his face.
And then he, like,
Oh,
moved it off his lip.
oh my God. But when you go back and just listen, there's a lady in the crowd who's like, Jesus, oh no. Like she's appalled. Like she's like, and this is the staff that's in the this is
Yeah.
somebody who knows him. She was done. Like if you go back, she sounds frantic. She wasn't like,
Yeah.
Jesus, yes, amen. Because there was a guy who was like, yeah, uh-huh. You know, that's a word.
That
This
might have been his
lady,
other brother.
this
You know he
lady was
got 2.
like, I don't know who she was, but she wanted to run up out of there.
Yeah.
I would have got on the stage. I would have said, "This is enough," because this is the thing. I went and did a little bit of my Googles, or somebody had a TikTok video about it. And in 2019, he did something similar. And the only difference is, to me, is this time he was doing the story of when Jesus used the mud, or in I
So,
want to say, is that in
yeah.
John?
The
In
mud thing,
John,
I
there's
think, is in
mud
John.
used. In Mark, there's no mud used. He just straight spits on him, like.
Right. And I had to go and, like, look because I was like, "Where's the mud? Like, why is he doing this demonstration without mud?" And I think
Mhm.
Ruslan, even when he talked about the apology video, Ruslan on YouTube, anyone who doesn't know, he was confused too.
Yeah, he was. Everybody was a little confused because I think the first story we just think about when we think about it is the
Right.
one where God spit in the mud. Now, I have to go back and read the Gospels again to determine, are these 2 separate times or is this
They
2
are.
separate accounts? It's 2 separate times, right?
Because
It reads like
yes, because the one with the mud was when the disciples were like, "So who sinned, him or his parents,
okay,
that he was born
yes.
blind?" But the
Exactly.
guy with the, like, just spit on his eyes, um, when he opened his eyes to see the first time, he was like, "I see people, but they look like trees." So he
Mhm.
has seen before, he just became blind, and the
Yes. Yeah,
other was
that's a
born
good point.
blind.
That is a great little point to
But then
say
I
he
was
has
like,
saw
now I
before.
know Jesus ain't over here hocking loogies on people multiple times. And so
Well,
I
they
looked it up.
said that Jesus be spitting on people.
Yes, but then I looked it up and I was like, this makes more sense. This makes a little bit
Mhm,
more sense in this
mhm.
context. There was a commentary that said that when people were blind, I guess back in those times, they could have had a crust over their eyes, and so you
Mhm.
basically had to, like, get that off before they can open their eyes. So
Yep.
it could have easily just been one of these, like the lick on the thumb,
Yes. It was
spit
not,
on
I don't think,
face.
what he did, because in the video from 2019, he spits even more in that mud. He makes
Yeah,
grosser noises, and I don't know what was going on in 2019 because I don't remember an uproar. Maybe I was under a rock. I don't remember.
he wasn't that popular. It's crazy because
And it's
there was, like,
also a Panini right now, and that is more horrifying.
and a lot more people have access to him
Yeah.
via
It's
social
too
media.
much.
In
It's too much.
2019, he was still popping off from the relationship series
Mhm.
because the relationship series happened in 2018, I think. And so 2019, he was still rolling on the wave of that. Like, he hadn't even done Crazy Faith yet. They were still at the
Mhm.
old campus. Y'all, I used to rock with Mike Todd heavy. Um and so, like, when I tell you that some of the stuff that be coming out my mouth be like, I know timestamps because I remember where I was when I watched these sermons.
Yeah.
And I do not remember him spitting that much into the
Yeah.
mud.
No,
And
he
when I
spit
go
a
back and watch
lot.
it again, I was like, dude hocked a loogie last time too.
Yes, and the noises were even more exaggerated.
And
So
it
I'm
was the
almost thinking
same brother, and
now
I'm like, "Bro."
now when we were like, who, approved this? Like, he don't have nobody checking him. But this is the thing. If he already did it before, somebody might have said, hey, those noises were real nasty. So this time he kind of toned them down, but not enough. So he thought I did better. But hopefully now he knows, don't do that no anymore. In his apology, he did say that it was very nasty.
Now, if
And
he does it again, then this is like a whole different conversation. If he does it after he has apologized. The
yeah,
first time he probably didn't get he
I
didn't
don't remember that
get
like backlash from that.
it being that bad. And I
Mhm.
don't think it was that bad because he didn't like he spit it into something and then put it on his eyes. And so like you didn't, I guess your brain disconnected from the fact that it was
It's
spit
still a
on his
bad
face.
demonstration. It's not a thing that really needs a demonstration. Like, are we doing a play? Is this a play? If it's not a play or a TV show where we are portraying the character or and we're not, this is not a dramatization. This is
Yeah.
a sermon where you're teaching. This is not for entertainment. So you
Right.
don't need to be doing that. I don't think, like, there are certain things that maybe need to be demonstrated, maybe like with a little skit or something, but that's just plain. Like, I don't need a demonstration of you telling me what Jesus did with spit. I can
Yeah.
read that. It's very, if my brain works, I can read it and get the picture in my mind.
That's very true. And okay, so also like some people are I saw this one TikTok that was like, there will be no Mike Todd slander on my page. And I'm like, well, I think people can have their opinions. We're all
Mhm.
entitled to our opinions, I guess. And so it's like the issue that still isn't being really talked about is the message. Like
Mhm.
some people are like, oh, I listened to the whole message. It was great. Other people are like, just don't talk about Mike Todd like that.
Mhm.
And there is something to say about accountability. If like he took accountability and he apologized, which is wonderful. Some people are
Mhm.
like, that's still not enough because of the way that he apologized. But hey, everyone's gonna accept apologies differently. And so like who am I to say that that's not a good enough apology?
That's what I was gonna say. Who are you to tell people you wanted the apology, now the apology not good enough?
Yeah, so it's like
Just
you really
relax.
didn't want the apology, like you just wanted him to stop doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
People are being helped by his ministry. I have my own like, not aversion to him, but like I have my own opinions about him and like it's not for me, right?
Mhm.
But other
Yeah.
people are being very blessed by his ministry. So I don't want to say, oh, cancel him completely because, God doesn't cancel people anyway. So like cancel culture shouldn't even be in the church at all.
Yeah.
But it's just it's caused such division in the church conversation when all of us could just be listening to the whole message. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I listened to, I believe, the whole message, or at least most of it. Um, I thought the message was okay. It was
Right.
a good message, I guess, for his church, where they were going, their vision,
Right.
but a lot of it, for me,
Mhm.
it didn't have that much scripture in it for me. It had,
And
like,
that's
2
something that he does on
or
a
3
regular though.
scriptures. Right, so that's why I don't really listen to Mike Todd that much. To me, he would be a great content creator, great for, TikTok, great for Reels. He's a good speaker. He has great, like, nuggets.
He's a great entertainer.
Yeah, he has good nuggets too. Like, he has, like, things that you're like, "Ooh, that sounds good." But then he has stuff that I'm like, "That don't make any sense." Like, if I could look through my notes, and I'm not going to because we're not staying on this topic that long, but I mean, it was just some of it I'm just like, I don't need the theatrics for me. Some people might need it to really get into it and really have fun, because you should be having fun, but I like my pastors more telling me stories about their life before they got saved when they used to be wilding out. That's the type of pastor I like. That just tell me a story, relate it back to scripture, uses lots of scripture, different translations, I
I
like
will
that.
say though that after watching the sermon, I watched it on like 2 times speed because sometimes he be drawing stuff out and you know, it's just not my preference. Like everybody has, you
It's
know,
very dramatic. It's
yeah,
always
like everyone has their
everything's a
preferences
build.
and preachers, I guess. Like I have a pastor, okay? So like everybody else is just preachers to me. I have a pastor, a home pastor that I love listening to and who ministers to me and who I am called to that house, right? I am not called to Transformation Church.
Yeah.
I'm not called to be a part of that house. So he was delivering an entire message on the vision for that house. So I was like, okay, this ain't really for me. So I'm listening on, 2x speed. And there was some stuff that I was like, that's good. And then there was other stuff that I was like, that's good for them. And by the end of the message, I forgot that happened at the beginning.
Yeah, it was like towards I just
Forgot.
thought, I mean, I'm not shocked. I mean, am I shocked? I don't know. I thought it was crazy. I was kind of like, I cannot believe this, but I could believe it because it was Mike Todd. That was the
That
thing. I was
part.
like, I do believe it happened. I'm just like, oh, he's gone off the deep end a little bit.
That part. I do think though that there is a place for correction in love that is not coming from, like, that correction in love is probably not meant to come from us or anyone on TikTok or anyone else on YouTube or anyone else that is not a part of his house, being
Yeah.
Transformation Church. So like even the TikToks that are like, I agree with him, he made a mistake, but that doesn't make him, a bad pastor. Like even that really doesn't have a place because that's just your opinion, right? Like your opinion is he's a great pastor. My opinion is I don't really care too much for him. It's just I just
feel
hate
like
how divided it is.
Yeah, if the members of his church are cool, then it's really none of my business. I usually concern my things with, like you said, people who, like my own pastor, somebody who would be like shepherding me. If you ain't, I mean, who cares what you? I don't really care unless you're. But I did care that I do care to a small extent to where that I'm like, okay, I don't think we should be running people away more than we already are. So if somebody just sees that 2-minute clip, which he said in his apology, but I was saying it before his apology, I'm like, if somebody sees that and they just think, man, Christians are crazy or they're doing this weird stuff or, um, they just think it's all fake and for show, that's not helping lead anybody to Christ at all. And I know that's what he wants to do. I hope. I think that's what he really wants to do. He just gets very excited and there's nobody there checking him. I don't think or he's not allowing himself to be checked even if somebody does try. But like I said,
Like, I
he
don't
already did
know.
it before. I don't know why anybody's surprised again. Y'all just didn't know. This man already hocked the loogie and some spit and sprayed on. Was it the same brother's eyes or different?
It was the same
Yeah,
brother.
same brother. He's the one who he must have signed a contract that he's allowed to be spit on for however long the church is there.
Hey, look.
Cause Miss Natalie Todd, I don't know where you at, boo, but you got to get him in line.
Kev on stage was like, you shouldn't drink after married people. Not to mention have their spit on your face, but like married
that
people.
Was just, I mean, I just
if
can't.
you listen to our Song of Solomon episode, you know what married people be doing.
Yeah, I just
and that spit was all over his brother's face. But hey,
yeah, he was talking.
If you like it, I love it.
And I couldn't even imagine the smell.
Yeah, but yeah, it's sad that Christian TikTok is divided on this matter so harshly that everyone is doing like this back and forth of you're wrong, no, you're wrong, no,
Well, isn't
you're
that
wrong.
Christian TikTok in general? They're always fighting about something.
It seems to be new people like, joining the Christian TikTok toxicity.
Christian TikTok is like, I love it, but it is very exhausting because
it is.
It's so many people who have questions, who are debating on live, who are doing this and that. And I'm like, I don't want to hear no more debates. And I love hearing debates, but I don't want to hear y'all debating because some of y'all don't know what you're talking about.
There was one today.
And I can't deal with it.
There was one today where it was the start a riot. See it?
Oh, yeah.
Start a riot, right? So I was like, cool, 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 cool. The first two, I was like, yes, sis, do that. Like, yes, she said that purity culture is like it's basically furthering SA in the church. And I was like, yes, you are correct. The second one was like something along the lines of like being kind or something. I was like, yes. And the third thing was completely outlandish, and I was like, no. And the thing is that like you had me for the first two, and then the last one was something that like is clearly
now I can't like the video
in the word. And it's like, okay, so were the first two flukes, or like why do we agree on these things? Should I check myself? Should I not be agreeing with these first two things? And it's just this constant like back and forth thing. Like they'll be,
I think what it is we're all trying to figure it out, but everybody wants to act like they're the one that's figured it out. And it's like nobody's figured it all out. Like
don't look at me, I don't know a thing.
Like you would never be able to fully understand God. I want y'all to understand that. Like
never.
I forgot the scripture, but there is scripture that's just like you cannot really understand what he does. You can get to know him. You can love him. Y'all can be real tight, real close. But even then, as big as we think he is, as awesome as we think he is even more than that. Our human brains cannot fathom. And y'all are over here fighting over stuff that doesn't even matter. The thing that I see most on my timeline is probably there are people who they're like not Jewish, but they observe the Torah and they observe the whole Torah. So it's not like just the 10 Commandments. They're like they cover their head, they don't like mix their fabrics. Like they're like really hardcore, and they fight with people over whether people are like, no, you're no longer under the law, we're under grace. And they're like, Jesus fulfilled the law, but I still have the law in my heart, so I still follow the law. Like it's just like, man, just do what you want to do. I actually have a video I have not posted yet. It's an old video I posted on Instagram a long time ago for my story, and I'm just like, dude, whatever you do, bro, just like you stick with it. Like you really you stick with it, you do your thing, you do your research, you find truth the way you want.
Anything done without faith is sin. So
I'm just like, and
if that's where your faith is, that's where your faith is.
My thing is nobody really knows. Like you're not gonna know until you die.
Basically.
You really do not know.
Aren't you glad that like it's not about our works? Because all of us would be confused.
Yeah, you don't really know. Like you don't really know exactly what's what. You like you think you really know exactly everything that God cares about. You know a few things because it's like we've seen evidence over a lifetime, but how would you know until you get there? How would anybody know unless they have died and gone to the other side and they came back and they tell you? And how do you know they're telling the truth? You just don't know. But
it's like that could have been a really, cool dream that you had because you ate pizza before you went to bed.
I said, look, when you die, either nothing will be there or someone will be there. And I suggest you live your life accordingly. That's how I see it.
That's good.
Make your own decisions. But if you want to don't try to just push your stuff on other people. Now, teaching people and making videos and stuff is not pushing your agenda. That's just you expressing yourself. But once y'all start getting in arguments and comments, that's too much.
We're not even supposed to argue about the word anyway.
That's just like
it's unnecessary.
Yeah, I can't deal with it. And even when I see somebody who's super off, like there's that guy, I forgot his name, but he's kind of famous now. I think he's a progressive Christian because I
think I know exactly who you're talking about.
I want to say he is. I don't know what I can say, but he's in that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And he was saying like he has a video where he's like, Jesus said not to worship him. It's like, Okay, but those type of things, I don't even engage. I'm not making a comment. I'm not making a stitch. I'm not doing none of that because I don't have time. If he wants to believe that, let him do that. Let him.
Exactly.
It's not.
Like, you know what? I don't know you enough to correct you.
He's not a disciple of mine. I'm not
I can
discipling him.
just pray for you.
That's all I can do. Because I am not about to try to convince you, sir. I'm not in the authority of your life. You're not under no discipleship with me. I don't care. I really don't. And that could be a
Paul
bad.
said, let's mind our business.
Yeah. Sometimes when I tell people that, I'm like, I don't know if I'm a bad Christian, but sometimes I do want you to be saved. But am I going to fight with you over you being saved? No, I do not care because your salvation don't matter to mine.
Facts. It's not hinged to mine. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like,
it's
I care
okay.
about you. I don't want you to go to hell, but, man, look.
But like, I'm not finna make this choice for you, and I'm not finna shove it down your throat either.
And I ain't about to fight with you at all. I
I'm
don't
not gonna
care.
fight with you. There was a speaking of praying for those people, there was a girl talking about the whole Mike Todd thing, and she was like, if y'all watched that clip and immediately started talking about him and didn't pray for your brother in Christ, your heart is in the wrong place. He made a mistake and blah 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 blah. And I was like, well, if I didn't pray first, then I made a mistake. Where's my prayer?
Everybody get in the prayer line. The prayer chain.
Like, why aren't you praying for me? But no, you're correcting me. You're coming for me on TikTok.
It's the same thing.
Like, but we can't come for him.
Yeah.
That's the part where I'm like, okay, there's a different the touch not God's anointed. It's a very we already talked about touch not God. We talked about it with the whole Dave and the Saw situation. We talked about it. Okay. Go back and listen to the other episodes because that's not what this is, this church bulletin or whatever. But like it's not what people keep using it as. That does not mean that people who are in authority in like as a pastor or a teacher in the church cannot be held accountable for their actions.
Yeah.
Like they still mess up because they're human.
Exactly.
They're not sinless. Okay. Like
they're regular people.
They're regular people. They just have a title. So it's like, please pull them off the pedestal that you put them on because they're going to keep falling off and hurting themselves.
And they're going to keep hurting you if you keep putting them on this pedestal.
Exactly.
And where is the pedestal you have Jesus on? Is he on a pedestal in your life? Where's Jesus?
Period.
Because, people make idols out of their pastors every day, which is not good because then you put yourself in a position where if they are slime balls, spiritual abuse can happen because you got him on a level of Jesus or a God or anything, and he's a human just like you, boo. Read your Bible.
1 Corinthians chapter 3. Just trust me. Just read it. Yeah, it's what we were talking about. Just read it. Should we move? I guess we can move forward.
Yes, because we
could be on it forever.
We gave Mike Todd probably like 15 minutes more than we were supposed to.
Oh no, it's just like 15 minutes because we talked for like 15 beforehand.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, I was like looking at the clock. We good.
Next, this is like it's not the stalest of tea. It's still pretty recent because we're still in January, but we are talking about Meagan Good and Devon Franklin. They're split. They're splitting up. I don't think their divorce is final.
Years. It's not final, but it's moving rather quickly.
He is the one who filed, right?
Yeah.
So what do we think and he's a pastor. Devon Franklin is a pastor of what church?
Come to find out, it's a Seventh-day Adventist. He's a Seventh-day Adventist pastor.
Now that's why they were coming
different
because they don't play that type of stuff. They strict.
But it was also some other like quote unquote Baptist Pentecostal non-denominational
That's
Christians
true,
too.
But
so
I'm understanding why she was under the fire because
7-day
they would
Adventists
not have that.
They don't
not that cleavage. Oh no.
And, okay, so I remember when they met. Okay, it was 2011. They got married in 2012, right? Cause Jump in the Broom, the movie Jump in the Broom was like my movie. I got it on DVD. I watched it like every day. He produced it. Well, he was on the what's it called? Not the crew, but the
executive producers. The directors?
The house, yeah, the producing house that was producing the movie. He worked for them. I think it was
Oh,
like,
okay.
I think it was Sony. No, I'm gonna get it wrong. I can't remember if it was Sony or
So
Vine,
he's a
but
pastor and
he's a
a
director.
entertainment person.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how they met.
Yeah, so they met on that set. She was dating somebody else at the time. I think he was a football player at the time, but when she met him, she said like she just knew that like it was him. Like she just knew that like she had to, get to know him or whatever.
That's wonderful.
So they end up getting married like a month after they're engaged. They announced their engagement. So they got engaged probably like a year after they got together. And then they
Oh,
got
okay.
married a month later.
Oh, I would
Yes.
have thought they would have gotten engaged quick and married quick because he's a pastor, but maybe not.
No. And so, okay, they end up writing this book. I think it was like in 2016. They wrote a book.
Yeah, I think I wrote it down. It might have been around there.
It's called The Wait.
2015? The
2015,
Wait.
yeah. 15, 16, something like that.
The Wait.
Called The Wait. I bought it. I bought 2 copies. I gave one to somebody.
Oh, was it good?
It was straight. I wasn't in that like season of my life, so I was like, this isn't for me. I said that because I was still a virgin at the time, and they were both celibate. So like the stuff that they were doing or talking about was from the vantage point of having already had the
And now
stuff,
abstaining, yeah.
and now I'm abstaining. And so for me, it was just like, I mean, I
that's
do
so
this
nice.
already. Yeah. So it's like I don't like being alone with a guy after dark anyway. So yeah, I was so innocent back then.
That is so nice. I love to hear that. 2015?
Yeah.
Your girl was not
I was 20.
innocent in 2015. I was 25, living life like it was golden.
Now, 2-3 years after that, not so much. But
we ain't talking about us. We talking about Meagan Good.
yeah. So okay. The first time that I saw them like be together in a church aspect was when they went to the Potter's House at 1LA, but this was before it was the Potter's House at 1LA, because Pastor Torre and Sarah Jakes Roberts, well, Sarah Jakes at the time, I don't think they were married yet. So yeah, this was when I was just watching like 1LA. And there was a Q&A because it was like it was the relationship series, and it was a Q&A, and like the congregation was real rude with these questions.
I feel like I've seen that Q&A before on a video.
This
I've
one
seen
lady
it. Were
was
they on like a couch?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
This
did
is
do
like
right.
my first real like sit down with the both of them to know that okay, like they're Christian. Like I don't really know who Devon Franklin was, and I was like, cool, Meagan Good's married. That's cool.
Right.
Like I don't really care past that. And this lady was like, so I was in the grocery store the other day, and in line I looked, it was like the magazines or whatever, and I saw you with your chest out. So are we gonna cover up now? Are we gonna do that? And that's what she asked in that way. And Devon listened to her for a minute and then goes,
but he sat her down.
No, that's not what we're gonna do. We're not gonna do that. She's gonna wear what she wants. And it just sounded like real hesitant to say, but he said it. Hey,
but he had to stand up for his wife at the moment, because I feel like,
and I'm glad that
he probably has a thought of, who knows what he thinks. But in that moment, if you're attacking his wife, I'm not taking your side. I don't care what you said to her.
Yeah.
You're going to calm down, and I'm going to talk to my wife in private because she's my wife and I respect her if she's my wife. Like, nobody going to talk to her crazy.
That was like the beginning of like the worst part of it all. Like Meagan has gotten on interviews multiple times talking about how the church is coming for her on a regular basis. She said that she had to like take a break from going to church because people were just so rude to her.
I think they never really gave her a chance, which is weird because I'm like, shouldn't we be happy when, like, do they not think she was a real Christian or that she was like, how do y'all know who's Christian or not?
Her Christianity was constantly in question based on what she wore.
Yeah. But
Like,
and I don't know what I don't remember her being just too scantily clad. Maybe I know she does have nice boobs, so that means I know I've seen them. But to
she has a nice
me,
body and she's worked on her body. Like,
I feel like it wasn't that big of a deal. But I feel like when people who are in the church, any kind of figure, when they marry somebody who's in the secular realm, it's just they're gonna have some kind of hate for it. Like when I think about them, I also think about Israel Houghton and Adrienne Bailon.
and it's
She
crazy because she didn't really get that much.
she didn't get as much as Meagan, but she still got a little bit. She makes sure that she does not post certain things. She makes
Yeah.
sure that her outfit,
She has a different image than Meagan though.
yeah, she makes sure that her outfits be cute, but her chest ain't never out. And I think it's on purpose because I did see a slight shift in her. She was never like a bad girl, she never had a bad girl image, but she makes sure that I feel like she don't want to embarrass her husband at the end of the day. She's still
That's
being
fair.
herself. Her husband is a worship leader. And now I
Yeah.
be seeing Adrienne at the worship. She be doing the worship too.
Mm-hmm.
She's in there now.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
like,
like they have a whole album together.
I don't know if Meagan
I
Good
think.
ever stepped into that like first lady status. If
But
your
they
husband
wouldn't
is the
have let
preacher.
her anyway.
This is the thing. Your husband is the preacher. That means you're the first lady. But I don't think she ever even like went into that role like leading
But like
ladies class.
how could she though? Like,
She couldn't because they was acting crazy.
and also she has a whole career.
She does. That's why
So it's not like she gave up her career to get married to this pastor. She
I
still had a whole
know.
career. She was barely home. So being a
Yeah.
pastor's wife, like being the first lady, is way more than just being married to a pastor.
No, yeah,
So
you
it's
gotta
like,
like do stuff.
yeah, and you have to you have to help shepherd a flock.
So
If
do
that
you
flock
think
is looking at you like, are you even Christian? Like, you can't shepherd
and
that
they go
flock.
to a Seventh-day Adventist church, like I said,
Yeah,
they do not they have rules. They have
they have
like a lot
very
of them.
strict rules.
They have
Yeah,
very strict rules. Like they don't like a lot of things. Um, do you think they were doomed from the beginning then?
yeah.
Like how did they even make it 9 years? Because I
Well, they have
mean,
been separated since August of last year.
because I remember last year, it's interesting that they were already separated because I remember she went to a Halloween party. I want to say that was last
Mhm.
year, and people were dragging her through the mud. But it was it was because she was married to a pastor. It
Yeah.
was not that she was doing anything crazy. She wasn't out being wild. She was just literally seen at a party. She was dressed as like Superwoman or something, or
Mhm.
like I don't know, a woman superhero. And maybe it was a
Yeah.
Supergirl, but it was something. And people drug her so bad about it. And what's crazy is she wouldn't even with him no more. And then people just didn't know because people don't mind their business.
Exactly. But okay, I didn't know this until like I was doing research for this segment, but her nudes got leaked. And these were pictures that she took for her husband and sent to her husband, and they for some reason got leaked.
Dang, in the cloud or what?
I don't know.
How does that happen?
I don't know. I didn't dig enough to find out because I
Somebody
almost
gotta
didn't
hack your
want to know.
phone or they gotta hack your iCloud and they have to be close enough
I
to
think
do
it's the
that.
cloud. Yeah, I think it was the cloud
It gotta be
because
the cloud. That's why I don't trust
gotta
that
be,
cloud.
gotta be. Because it's like, how do you get to somebody's news that were sent via text?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Somebody
But
lying.
yeah, so but I honestly believe that that someone took them from Devon's phone. I don't think that I don't think
Mm.
Devon leaked them.
No,
I don't think Megan sent them to the wrong person.
that would be so dumb for him to do.
Yeah, it would. So like, and then she got even more backlash from the church. And it's like, bro, I was sending these to my husband, and this is like the most like, what's the word? Like you feel
Degraded?
degraded,
Embarrassing.
violating thing.
Violating.
Oh man, I guess my hair is too tight. I can't think. Um, like the most violating thing to happen to the both of them in a public eye, and it's like the church was just like, yeah, we all know she did, yeah, have you seen these? Like church members were sending them, like posting them, reposting them, talking about, did you
That's
see this?
terrible.
Devon Franklin's wife out here, no, she was not out here, she was in his Texas.
But why would you repost that? To me,
Exactly. I'm like,
not
you
even
sick.
to me, not even as a Christian, but just as a woman in general. I don't know. It could just be like I'm like way more mature now. I'm sure maybe back in the day, teenage years, I would have passed around a photo of a girl. Maybe that's the only time. But me, it's in the last, I don't know how many years. I can't remember a time really where I would have been like, let me see. Oh, it's a naked picture. Oh, let me post it. Let me send it out. Let me send it around.
Yeah.
I'm like very women empowerment, and I love women to feel confident, and that's just not it. Like I could never do that to another woman, another human. Period. I wouldn't send around a naked picture of a guy either. But for
Yeah.
sure, a woman, I would never do that. I don't even care if I don't care if she was sending them out to the world herself and not her husband. I don't care. It's not my place to be
No.
like, "Ooh, look at her. Look what she doing." Mm-mm. Where are
Yeah.
your
It's
nudes
like,
that you've been sending out?
right. Like, can I see your eyes only? Like on Snapchat? Open it up. Open it up right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
You have them?
'cause
Cool. Shut your
y
face. And it's like the church be loud and wrong, bro. Like, if you gonna be wrong, be quiet about it. Cause yeah, I
mhm.
understand we all got issues. Like I
Yeah.
dragged Mike Todd for a hot minute, called my mom. Okay. Am I proud of it? No. But like, yeah, I definitely dragged him for filth, made jokes, all types of stuff. I clicked on the link because I wanted the tea. Okay.
Mhm, mhm,
Cool. That's my issue. Right.
mhm.
I was a little bit of a gossip. All right. Cool. Everyone has things that they're dealing with. Why would you put her on blast just because you don't like that she's married to your pastor? Your
Yeah.
pastor has issues of his own too. Dude wasn't a virgin when he married her.
Mhm.
Are we going to talk about him having, premarital? Are we going to talk about that? Or
Was he married before her or no?
I don't, I'm not sure.
That part I don't know. I really didn't know anything about him till Meagan Good
It's
married
very
him.
true.
He
It's
was
very
not
true.
he was not on the stratosphere of
I'm
people
like, you
to
know
know.
what? Like, hey, I know you filed for divorce under the umbrella of uh irreconcilable differences.
Yeah, but what is the church reason though? Because usually, I mean, not that I'm not. I know a lot of Christians who get divorced, of course, but biblically, we're supposed to try not to get divorced. However we can, we're supposed to try to work it out. We're supposed to put God in the middle of the relationship, so it worked.
It,
So
it's like I'm waiting for people to drag him. He
I'm
filed for
trying to
divorce.
but I'm trying to figure out. He would never drag her publicly. I'm trying to figure out if she did something that is grounds for divorce and he's just divorcing her quietly,
So
like
he
Joseph was
actually
trying to do
dispelled that
Mary.
because someone asked him that in an interview and he was like, no.
But would
He
he
shut it
say
down.
it?
I
Would
think
he
you'd be
really
able to
say it?
tell in his answer.
Like that he was lying?
Yeah. He was like, no.
Oh.
And it was like flat out
So
no.
what's
There was
the excuse
no and
then?
so
Why not let her divorce you so you still look if it was like a mutual
I
decision?
listen, I don't know because I feel like he is like partially regretting leaving her because he posted something
Yeah,
on
he's
New
sad
Year's
now.
saying that he was in pain and and at peace or whatever about
Mhm.
everything new and whatnot, and how he like not misses her but like how she was great, and he posted a picture of them and was like
Girl, it's
one
too
of our
much.
happiest moments or something like that, like real nostalgic, and I was like,
He doing too much.
you filed for divorce.
That's why I feel like it's her that wanted to end the relationship because she was on Instagram today with a jacket on that said on the back, Miss Good if you're nasty. and at a basketball game or something, just chilling and reposting a Lecrae quote.
She's always been a free spirit though. She was
Yeah.
never really the type to say like, oh, like I'm ready to get married or anything like that. Like it was literally, for me, them getting engaged was like, huh? Like Meagan Good
Yeah.
married? Like that don't make sense because Meagan Good has always been
I just
just
thought she had
her.
just found the Lord, I'm doing it for the Lord, that's what I
That's
thought.
what they said in the book, was like God had called them to marriage, so they got married.
Yeah, and they were trying to do the right thing. They didn't want to be shacking up, and he the pastor. Come on now, he can't be doing
Right.
all that.
So they got married. He felt some type of way about her drinking and smoking, or no, her drinking and smoking. She stopped smoking. She recently stopped drinking. Like literally as the divorce came out, she said that she had stopped drinking. But it's like no matter what she did,
It
because
was
she
never
actually
good
toned
enough.
down her image a lot.
She
Like,
did. She tried.
man, like the stuff that she was wearing or whatever, like out in
And I
public.
still don't think it wasn't like I saw her as like super out there. Like to me, I've
But she
known
just started
about
looking like
making
real wholesome, and it was weird.
yeah, but I've been knowing who Meagan Good is since she was like a kid.
Like,
Maybe I
let
was a
me
kid
defy
too.
you. Like,
And she never really, to me, she was in like all the black movies growing up. She's just like a normal person. Like when I think of Meagan Good, I think of like You Got Served. She might have a little bit of her
yeah,
midriff out, but like
beautiful.
she's normal. Like she's not. I don't want to say the word, but she's not like y'all act like he married like Amber Rose or something, or like
Right. And
Black
it's like
China.
she just
Like it's Meagan Good. She's like a reputable A-list actress.
literally.
B-list at the lowest. Like she's at least for black entertainment, she
Hmm.
A-list for sure. She
Yeah.
may be A-list for she probably A minus
I
or
think
B
Halle
list.
Berry has her beat out as of this point. If Halle Berry retires, then Megan Good would be
But
next.
I'm saying like Meagan Good it wasn't like he just found her somewhere. Like she made him famous.
Literally.
And I don't feel like she dresses in a provocative way.
There's certain dresses, like the blue dress fiasco at the I think it was it at the Gospel Awards?
Now you can't be going to the gospel awards with your tatas out now.
The thing is though, is that it was in very good taste.
I'm
It
about
was
to
a
look it up.
plunging neckline, but it wasn't all the way down and all the way up. My mom always says like pick one. Either you're gonna have a plunging neckline or a short hem.
Oh, I
Pick one.
see it.
But
Now she know. This is at the BET Awards. Okay, it's the BET
it's
Awards.
the BET one. But somebody
I
had
thought it
posted
was
on
like at the
Twitter.
Stellar Awards. I wouldn't have wore that to the
Oh no,
Stellar
no, no, no.
Awards.
Yeah, I was like, I was about to say BET Gospel Music Awards, but I think BET just has music
It
awards.
was the BET Awards. And the dress is cute, but
Like
it
that's
is
in good taste
it is a lot out. But I would wear that actually, but
dress. But the thing,
not with my husband who's a pastor. Probably out like a girls trip with the girls.
listen, if I'm
Mhm.
me before my husband is a pastor, why am I going to switch up completely just because my husband is a pastor when my husband
Yeah.
can be a pastor and in entertainment and no one's saying anything to him? But it's like he produced a movie that I was in. So like,
I think
does it not,
it was too much side boob for them. But
like what she
that's a
was
heck of a
wearing in
side
that,
boob.
okay, but what she was wearing in that movie wasn't like,
No,
wasn't turtlenecks and jeans.
no, I'm not saying that she shouldn't have wore it. I'm just saying I could see why a high split plus the plunging neckline is like, and it's form fitting. So if people are very religious in the fact that of what you wear and modesty and blah blah blah, that ain't it.
If
With
you
the
that
Seventh Day
religious,
Adventist pastor, I'm about to look up what Seventh Day Adventists think about modesty.
if you're that religious, don't watch the BET Awards.
Girl, somebody sent it to. Well, they probably were watching it, or somebody sent it to him and said, "Isn't this your first lady?"
I'm like, no, but I don't think she ever assumed first lady role. She was just married to the pastor.
I
Devon
know.
was the pastor of the church, regardless of whether or not he was married to her. So it's
Yeah.
like,
I don't think
That's
that was just gonna
that's not
work in
me.
general because it's just too much pressure on him, I think. It's pressure on her because she's just getting bullied every day, and I feel really bad, but I feel also bad because he he really wanted it to work, I think, and I think he still wants it to work. I think he's sad, like, I think that he probably just filed for divorce because she was just, like, didn't really wanna be with him no more because it's just too much. It's too much pressure.
It
I've
is,
been
and I
trying.
don't
I
think
gave it a
he
really good try, but
I don't
I'm
think he
depressed.
handled it that well, which kind of
No.
bothered me because people were coming at her, and he said it towards the beginning, like, but by year 7, year 8, people were still coming for her, and he wasn't speaking out as much as he was before. And it's
Mhm.
like y'all have a whole book, like y'all were seen as like godly marriage goals, and so when people are looking at y'all saying like, oh well, if it happened for her, right? If she
Mhm.
is, has been seen as being like out there, Megan Good has always been very private about her like personal endeavors. You may have known who she was dating, but like she's not Kim
Yeah.
Kardashian.
Yeah,
She's
like, you don't know
very
she's not linked to a lot of people, like, she's, like, a serial dater, and she been with this person, this person. You would have to really look it up to know.
yeah, yeah, you cut yeah, because I forgot. Well, at least I didn't know that she had dated Lil Wayne before.
Who hasn't dated Lil Wayne?
True
Lil
that.
Wayne has had
Lil Wayne is a
every
serial dater,
black actress, every his he has had
honestly.
people that you like, "Dang, he had her too?"
But like she was with
Like, I
Tyrese.
mean, Lil Wayne has, like, 4 different baby mamas that people actually like, they're actually,
No,
like, famous
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Like like,
And then
what?
there's the other ones.
Yeah, it's
But it's
like
like it's just the like really the churches need to mind their own business, and like I know me
mhm.
included. I mean, we're not minding our own business talking about it, but it's like, why are you coming for a human being that you do not know?
Yeah.
Like publicly.
Yeah.
Like I'm
It's
not
just
gonna
too much,
go.
like, when you going too hard, I'm like, "You care too much about
Yeah,
this."
like I have my own opinions. Like earlier when we were talking about Mike Ty, I have my own opinions about Mike Ty. That doesn't mean I'm gonna go on Instagram and like like just ruin, like run him for filth all over Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
Mhm.
and Clubhouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I'm
and
not gonna
people seem
sit here.
angry too. I feel like I never wanna be that person on Instagram or TikTok or wherever, where it's like every video I have is yelling at people about somebody who did something bad, like, I
I'm
cannot
like,
live
bro,
my
I do
life that
something
way.
bad every day.
I can't yell like that. I can't really give that much my energy because so many other things require my energy, actually.
Like there's some stuff that I do during the day or like throughout my like everyday life that I could possibly get canceled for.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So
We're not under the microscope, not
yeah.
now at least, but even one day. Kevin on stage said that on that,
Yeah.
episode. He was like,
Here's the
"Look, when my
thing.
day comes, look, I'm a human, and look, we may say something you don't like, we may mess up. At the end of the day, we're all humans, and God is God,
Mhm.
and, like, you
And
can't be
only
out here
God is
judging
judging.
people like that." Like, there's some people who will try to find scripture like, "No, we are supposed to judge." Look, we are supposed to I don't even know how to say it, but the way y'all judging ain't it. The way y'all just
We're not it
because I
says
hate the
judge not
judgment.
lest you be judged.
It's
Now,
not like y'all not giving no
y'all aren't correcting in
solutions.
love.
You're not really trying to like, "Hey, sis, you just really wanna be in people's business and feel more righteous than you really are." That's
Yeah.
really what you're trying to do, and that ain't right. Self-righteousness
Mm,
is not next to godliness. That's not in the Bible, but it's a saying that I just made up
yeah.
because it's true.
Yeah. No, it's crazy because like even this segment, like I was kind of like, should we even do this?
Mhm.
But because we'll have conversations where we joke back and forth about certain things like that's happening or going on, and like it's probably never going to see the light of day on the internet because it's not a good representation of God.
Mhm.
Our personal conversations, laughing and joking around, is it's just not,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
not biblical conversation all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, it's just normal conversation. So when
But
we
it's
do
like
put
there's a
out
point. There's a
yeah.
point where you bring your personal conversations to the public and start to berate a human being in the name of the Lord, and
Mm-mm.
God is not on that
Mhm. Mhm.
at all. And yet people are looking at it like, oh, well, if this is supposed to be God, then I don't want it. So you're
Yeah.
turning people off to God because you're misrepresenting him, saying that God wants you to cover up, but
Mhm.
you don't know her. You don't know her personally. You cannot correct her in love.
Yeah,
There's an order to correction.
there's levels to this.
There's levels to this, man. Like, you can't just walk into a random person on the street and try to guilt them into doing stuff like that they're
Yes.
supposed to do. If
And
you
you
don't
don't know
know
what they're
them,
doing. You
just
don't know
pray.
anything about them.
If you
Yes.
don't know them, just pray.
Prayer is very powerful, y'all.
Like,
It really
because
is.
the people who do know them and who do know the Lord, you pray, the Holy Spirit will do what he needs to do
Mhm.
and will impress upon their heart to pull them to the side and say, hey, I love you. And there is a higher standard. If you need help, I will be there every step of the way.
Yeah.
But the way that you're living is not up to the standard that God has graced you to live. That is correction and love. That is
Mhm.
because you care
Mhm.
about their best interest. You calling out Meagan Good for wearing a dress that you don't think is appropriate for a pastor's wife to wear, while you're over here at the club on Saturday nights wearing
Yeah.
God knows what, talking to who
Yeah.
knows what.
Mhm.
Stay in your lane. And even if you're not doing that, like, you have your issues too. Just because you don't dress like her or go out to the club
Yeah,
or
you have a different
drink
set
or
of
smoke, like,
issues.
everyone has issues that you need to bring to the Lord. I have issues that I need to bring to the Lord on a regular
Mhm.
basis. So
Mhm.
it's just like,
Yeah.
bro, calm
I
down.
think everybody should think about, especially when you're doing something online. It's one thing when
Yeah.
you're in your regular life, but one thing me and Vic really try to do, and we really take it seriously, is we don't want to do things that are going to deter people from Christ. If we feel like it's going to deter people from Christ, we don't do it. Simple as that. Or we wait, we pray on it, we ask God
Mhm.
what's up. But you should know that you going ham on somebody on the internet in loud, hateful, all that, that is never bringing anybody to Christ. And you should really reevaluate that. And in your mind, you might think, no, they need to know the truth. They need to know that. Now I would charge you. I would ask you, is that how you came to Christ? And if I'm starting to believe that maybe you don't really know Christ, because if you really do, I would bet money that it was you were not drugged to him kicking and screaming. And if you were, I would
I'm
like to ask
sorry.
you more questions, actually. I would like to do a social experiment on you, and I would like to do a Bible study with you to see if it's really real and if it's really sticking. Because a lot of those
Mhm.
people who get drugged to God, those spiritual abuse testimonies I'm seeing on YouTube, and you don't even believe in God anymore after 5 years. You was
Mhm.
all on fire. You was all on TikTok trying to rebuke, trying to tell people this, trying to do the most. And in 5 years, you will be a agnostic or atheist. I ain't got time. You need to relax and
Yeah.
get in your word, get in God's word for yourself. Get to know God for
Mhm.
yourself. Y'all be doing, some of y'all be doing the most. Leave
Correction
Meagan
and
Good
love.
alone.
Yeah. Correction and love is not judgment.
Yeah.
And love is also not tolerant.
And
So
I don't know if every Christian marriage looks the same.
it doesn't.
I
And
don't think it does.
also, please, I beg of you, please. Because if I ever bring my husband back on our podcast, or like start our podcast, he and I's podcast again, and we start talking about marriage, please don't put me and him, our marriage, on a pedestal saying that this is like marriage goals or relationship goals or Christian marriage goals, because bro, we will never live up to your standards. ever.
That was so
And
cute.
y'all need to take thank you. Y'all need to take any other person that you've put on that pedestal off because
Yeah, because you
like
trying to put their stuff on you, and you just need to
like
I mean, I can't speak
every
on
marriage is
marriages,
different.
but I feel like every marriage is different. Everybody's different, and y'all need Imma end it with this. Stay out of married people's business.
Yeah. And
That
if
is
they
a
put their
good
business
rule.
out there, just don't entertain it.
Yeah, it's a good rule to stay out of married people's business. I try to stay out of
Don't entertain
relationship
it.
people in relationship, period, because it's not my business. But I for sure stay out of married folks' business because you
What time mind
are
my
always gonna be
business?
the wrong on that one, okay?
Yeah.
For sure.
And I don't necessarily know how to transition into this next topic. It'll be our last topic. We probably not gonna talk on it long.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, probably not.
but Omarion strikes again, and well, it's continuing to strike
He
and
been
whatnot,
striking.
and bringing friends. And so, there's a pastor here in Dallas, well, Oak Cliff,
That's
um, out here
my
in Oak Cliff that had something to say about the panorama. Now,
Mhm.
I take issue with politicizing the gospel or over spiritualizing politics. Let me say it that way because
Mhm.
it's the opposite. So I take issue with over spiritualizing politics. Um, there is a place for shepherding in the church, obviously. However, this pastor said that there shouldn't be a mandate on um the
Vaccinations?
jabs.
Oh, can I say that?
Yeah.
Dang it. I didn't
I
mean to
don't want
say
to
it.
get the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Um,
I didn't mean to
so
say it.
so yeah, like I don't yeah, he said that there shouldn't be a mandate on the jab, but he said that the jabs are good. They help people, but it shouldn't be mandated. I'm like, well,
Mhm.
if it helps people, then why should it be optional?
Mm, I mean, I didn't disagree with him. I feel like I
It's
don't
like
know if anybody should be forced to do anything because if they don't want to, why do they have to? If you have choices about other stuff,
but
why should that be imposed upon you? Now, there are things that are imposed upon you anyway. There are other jabs that people have been taking for millions of years, or when you go to certain countries, it's no choices. But y- but
exactly.
but y'all got to remember. I was talking to some people about this earlier. America is the quote unquote land of the free. They don't want to be told anything. When you go to other countries, their sense of community is so much better. We America is very self-centered. It's very me, me, me. If I don't want to do it, I don't have to do it. It's not like a like I really like nobody cares about each other.
Yeah.
Nobody so you telling somebody no, you have to do this, and this is like the first time in a long time. There have probably been other things, when yellow fever was out in whatever year that was. I'm sure when they came out with it, people were just running to get it. It was a different time, or maybe I don't know if people were forced to or not. I don't know. You like who even knows
It
about?
shouldn't have
I don't
this
know,
is not okay. So
but I don't
minus
know.
the Bible for a second. It shouldn't have gotten to the point where there has to be someone forcing you to take it.
Hmm.
But because like this isn't the first panorama that or e-panorama that that America or the world has been in.
Hmm.
This just seems to be
This
the
is
one
just
where
one.
everybody has an
It,
opinion about it.
but this one is like taking. This one is taken over more than because the other ones that have happened have been contained. This is
Exactly. And
uncontainable because nobody want to do what they want supposed to do, and now the jab is almost irrelevant because there's so many new strains that even people who got it are still getting it, and
yeah,
it doesn't even matter.
yeah. There's a whole lot of like opinion
It's a lot.
around the panorama and the jab. However, I don't know if it has a place like from the pulpit.
Yeah, I was surprised that he said something about it. It must have been something that hit close to home, or somebody he must have heard something, and
Well,
he was just like, "I gotta address it."
he had talked about it the Sunday prior, because he said it in the clip, that he had talked about this the Sunday prior, and he was really doing this to like clarify what he had said prior.
Oh, okay.
So like he came back and was like, the jab helps people. Like, don't get me wrong, the jab helps. But his thing was that we should have faith in God and not the jab, which is very true.
Well, yeah, you can't put your faith in that above God. Now
Yeah, it's very
that's
true.
ridiculous.
So it's not that like it's not that we're trusting that, oh, if I get the jab, I'm good. It's trusting that God will lead me to do whatever I need to do. And if getting
Mhm.
the jab is what I need to do, then getting the
Then you
jab is
get it.
what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
That's what I felt. And I
Yeah.
got both of them.
Mhm.
I haven't got the follow-up one, but I've gotten both of them.
I have not gotten
The first and
any of
second
them
round.
yet, but I'm getting it though, because your
But
girl's
it's like
traveling this year.
some people, you never like, you don't know what your body's going to do. For
Mm-mm.
some people, God may tell you no, don't get it.
Yeah, or wait, or,
Or wait, exactly. Like there's so many different things, but I do say that like there should be a line from the pulpit on whether or not politics are involved.
yeah, yeah, because
Because
I haven't
then
heard
people are
that.
attaching their opinions on politics to like to God, in the sense of like,
Yeah.
oh well, God said get the jab. God
Mhm.
said do not get the jab. Like,
Mhm.
you take
And
his
then
word for
there's
yourself.
the church camp that says, "Don't get it because it's the mark of the beast." It's like,
And I'm like, do your research, read Revelation.
and they
Anywho.
are really passionate about it too. Like I saw a guy on TikTok yesterday crying because his wife, she must not be from America, was getting deported because, and I don't even know if this is a real story because it sounded outlandish, but she was getting deported because she would not get it. And I was like, that's the part that they at? But she probably was expired on some documents, if you ask me. But he was like really like crying, and then there's some other people. I think I may have to unfollow her because I'm realizing she might be crazy. And they're like, "What are you gonna do when they say take this or deny Jesus?" And I'm like, "Come on, y'all going too far."
I'm like,
Yeah. I don't think that I've seen a few scholars say that that is not how the mark of the
it's not,
beast works. That's not
because
how it was gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna
it's
be
like,
really cut and dry. You're not gonna have to guess. You'll know.
and it's like, and there's like orders of the seals that are opening, and like we're not
Mhm. But I
there.
saw one that the people think we on whatever seal. I saw a girl
Then that would
making
mean
a
that the
video.
Antichrist is
She
here,
was
like,
like,
and
"We
in
on,"
power.
she was like, "The 4th seal is opening." I don't know what seal she said we was on, but I was just like, I gotta scroll away before the algorithm
Yeah,
keeps sending me this.
yeah, no, I can have a debate all day long about whether or not, like, on what seal we're on. It's kind of
Mhm.
irrelevant,
Yeah,
because
it
at the end
is.
of the day, like, either we're gonna be raptured or we not. That's
At
really
the
just
end of the day, y'all don't know nothing.
at all, because Jesus
Is
don't even know when
because
he's gonna come back.
yes, and Revelation is such a hard book. If
It
you
is.
have not y'all read it either no times or one time, and I know you ain't got it out of that one time because I read it one time and I was like, "This was so good," but I do not know what's happening.
I
Like,
read
it
it
was
along
really
with
good.
Alan Parr explaining it to me, so
It was like it's a really good book, but it's like, you gonna have to
it's a
read
lot.
that again. You gonna have to run it back and study it and, like, really because it's so much imagery, it's bonkers. Like,
Yeah. I'm just sitting here like, okay, well, like, what has God actually said about what's going on right now? Because I can't trust that at every church God is saying something different about a global panorama. Like,
mhm.
one church is saying, like, the pastor that we're talking about, he said that God's allowing all of this stuff because it's God's way of saying, I'm in control. And I'm just like,
I feel that a little bit.
but I'm just like, where, like,
This is why I say
it,
that. I say that because when it hit, when the plague hit in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
I had this feeling, and it could have just been a feeling for me that God was really pulling me in. But I had this feeling that it's like God, especially when stuff started shutting down, I was like, oh, God said, oh, y'all go sit down and y'all go realize some things. That's how I felt. Because everybody had to sit down, everybody had to evaluate who they were. People didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like what they saw
Right.
when they were evaluating. And I don't know if I would say, like he said, like God is in charge, but I do
Because he
feel
was saying
like,
that like God keeps messing things up because he's
yeah,
like,
I don't know about that.
I'm more powerful than your scientists and whatnot. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
that's a lot. Like, that's a lot to say that
of that
God said
God.
that
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah,
no scripture to back that up.
yeah. The only thing that I feel that I've been getting from scripture lately is that sometimes, like, what was the story that we read? Oh, with David when the plague came. Sometimes it is something somebody did that is causing a countrywide, worldwide situation. It's some.
I mean, didn't we pull out of the whole Israel thing?
Oh, I don't even know, girl.
Hey, listen,
I ain't gonna lie
I
to
don't
you.
keep up with politics enough. I ain't even finna act like I ain't even
That
finna act
whole
like
thing
I
it
do
always confuses
or
me. I'm
know what's
like,
going
so we
on.
gotta stick with them no matter what? Okay, I gotta keep going. But what I will say is I feel like every time I read about a famine or a plague in the Bible, I feel like sometimes there's no reason, sometimes there's a reason. Y'all think that things in history books in the Bible is never gonna happen again. That's what y'all not understanding. We in a we in a plague. We in a famine. Think about this right now. A famine is when there's not enough of something. There's a shortage on everything right now. Shortage on
Literally.
food,
Mhm.
on building
Resource.
materials, on everything. We are living in. You're living in it. Look around.
Yeah.
It ain't going back to normal. Y'all keep trying to. What I like when he said that God can messing up stuff, I didn't particularly like the messing up thing. Like God is like intentionally like, oh, y'all still not listening. Let me go down and throw another variant on you. But I just feel like he's he. I don't know. I lost my train of thought a
It's
little
just
bit, but
giving mystical to me. Like it's giving like I don't necessarily understand what's happening and I need to attach meaning to it. So God said
mhm.
this.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
what it's
don't. You
giving.
know me. I don't like to say God said nothing. I do have strong feelings about what I feel like He's saying to me. That's why I
Right.
keep it to myself.
Right.
But I do feel
But God
like,
also said that even in famine, I will sustain you.
oh yeah, and we
So it's
sustain. I
like
feel
we
sustain.
see the world doing whatever they're doing, but like the church should be good.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so if
Because
you're
He always
saying
takes
this
care
from
of
the
stuff.
pulpit, it's like, well, is God sustaining me?
Yeah, yeah, that's maybe yeah, that should have been more of the message. But I do think that people keep
It's like
trying to
never
go
have I
back
seen
to
the righteous forsaken. That like,
people
can
people
we talk
keep
about that?
trying to go back to normal too fast. That's
Yeah.
what I think. When I did listen to his message, I had that thought that it was just like you keep trying to this ain't gonna go away because y'all want to go to Disney World and stuff. Y'all want to go to the rodeo. Y'all want to go everywhere, which is fine because I want to have fun too. But I can see that maybe right now ain't really the time for fun or the time to do what we want to do. It could
Mhm.
be a time that God is like, look, I need you to look, I need you to focus on me right now. It's possible that He
Mhm.
would shut your whole life down, your whole world down, because there could be judgment in it. We don't know. Somebody getting judged. It could be all of us. Or it could be like, hey, I'm about to rock your world real quick because you have lost sight of who I am.
And God didn't need a panorama to do that.
No, He could have did anything.
He could have did anything. He could have did it personally in every person's life differently.
He
He
could
didn't
have
need
did.
a panorama to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I will say I have a prediction that it's either over in 2023 or 2027. So y'all better hold on. That's my prediction. Let's see. I'm not a prophetess, but my prediction is 3 or 7 years because that's how famines come.
We've
To
been
pay
the
on
Old
stuff.
Testament too long.
That's all I'm saying. I'm hoping it's 3 because that means next year, baby, we out this thing.
We going Israel.
But if it's 2027, you know.
I hope I have some kids by then because I'll be old.
But what's crazy if you still live in America, it don't matter. These people do look. They are throwing the rules out. People are so tired. They're just like, I just want to be normal again. I don't want to wear my mask. I have a friend, and I will not name her at all on this. She told me today through message. Her son goes to a private school. Okay. She said, and this is in Texas. She said that they are no longer quarantining the children if somebody in your class has the plague. They're saying basically keep that kid at home, monitor the rest of the kids for symptoms, and we just go keep it trucking. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why people are done. Like, especially in certain communities. I will not say what community this girl was from, but some people could probably guess what type of community she's from. That they just like, they don't care. They're like, some of them don't believe in it, or they just feel like it's not that serious. They taking their chances. You're taking a chance every time you leave the house, honestly. Because I'm gonna touch on that one thing that we were gonna loop in, like conferences. People are back doing conferences. Back, the rodeo's back. I know it's back in Dallas. I'm pretty sure it's usually in February in Houston. Like, if that's not a germ center, I don't know what is. People are ready to go back to what they were doing, and I mean, they're done. They don't care. They're taking their chances, and I feel like I take my chances every time I leave the house. But I'm only taking my chances on something that's worth it. Like people who went to Passion Conference, they took that chance. They said, I really want to go. If I catch it, I catch it. You think they didn't have that thought? You think they went and they were like, I can go get it? No. I bet you a good 30% of the people who went at least came back sick. I know they did.
Now,
Which is a risk you're willing to take.
See, my faith in God is a little reckless sometimes.
I would have had my mask on. There was a lot of people.
After I got before the jabs that I got, I was just out here.
Yeah, because
when people
when you
stop
think about
wearing
it, you
masks,
really
I
are
was like,
risking it. When you think about it, you're like, well, I'm clearly risking it. Because I think you're like, because I be feeling like, I'm like, dang, I think God, God is really covering us because we really been lucky. But he don't have to. One day I could get it. I know plenty of people who have gotten it. They just, what
Me
did
too.
they do something to get it? No. Did they not pray enough? No. They just got it because it's very contagious.
Right.
So if you go to a big conference that has like 500,000 people there, in my head, if I really want to go, I was about to go on a work trip. They canceled it though because of Omarion, but I was gonna go. That's a risk. I'm going to the airport. I'm going to 2 airports. But I was gonna go because I really want to go. I said I'm gonna risk it. Do I risk it every day though? Am I just out here willy-nilly in the streets every day? No. I stay home most of the time because I know I'm saving my risk for the thing I really want to go do when I want to go have dinner with my friend who I haven't seen in months or something like that. That's when I put my risk out there. Because, I got people who got asthma in my family. My mama, my son. Omari, my son be taking the biggest risk of all. He never wear a mask, ever. And I just be like, the Lord is really covering him because he has not gotten it yet, to my knowledge, at least. Every time he's gotten sick when they test him is negative, is something else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy out here. I think the moral of the story of all 3 of these segments is before you tack God's name onto something, know the character of God first and see if he'll actually endorse that. Whatever you're saying, doing, talking about, just know that if you're saying it on behalf of God, just make sure that it's actually from God.
Yes, and maybe y'all should just stop saying God told me.
Yeah, just say you
You
have a
could just
feeling. I'll
say
accept that.
just say, "Y'all, I just really been thinking and I think this."
Yeah,
That's all you
that's
gotta do.
okay. That's
Like,
perfectly okay. Let's normalize
yeah.
that. Can we
Yeah,
normalize
like,
just
just
saying I have a feeling?
yeah, or yeah, because if I see one more thing, last night God told me in a dream. So God's talking to you every night in a dream. All right. All right, Isaiah. All right, Ezekiel. Okay. All right, boo. All right,
I'm
Jeremiah.
like, "Cool." But, like, why is he talking to you
All
so much
right, John.
about me?
Yeah, like your
Like,
dream is
can
about
he can
you.
wake me up too?
Yes, yes, yeah. And what people don't realize about those, and I'm gonna wrap up now. I'm not about to say nothing else. But what people don't realize about those prophets in the Bible, they were talking to people they knew, like people their their
Close
community.
circle.
They
Yeah.
were talking to their community. So they knew these people. They knew what they were doing. A lot of the prophecies were about God destroying them because they had been doing idolatry. Like
Mhm.
what y'all be trying to prophesy, I don't even know. But you don't know. You cannot prophesy to the whole world. Those prophecies weren't even to the whole world. They were to Israel.
Mhm.
Like, but we gonna get into it. I don't know when, but we will be reading through the
Right, when we get into,
prophets
like,
and minor
the
prophets.
major and minor prophets, we'll get to
We
it.
will definitely
'Cause
talk about
Jeremiah,
you guys.
oh, Imma bring all of this back when we talk about
Yeah.
Jeremiah.
Oh,
'Cause
yes.
we all talk about Jeremiah 29:11, but,
But we gonna
you
read
need
the
to
whole
read all
passage.
of 28 and 29.
Yeah, we're gonna read the whole passage for you guys so you know what's really happening, and it's not about you. It sound good though. It sound
It
good for it to be
ain't.
about you, but it's not technically.
But, let us know in the comment section, if you wanna, join the conversation in the comment section, to do that. Be
Mhm.
respectful, that's all I ask. Um, and let us know if you like these segments. I mean, we don't have to keep doing them if you don't like them.
Yeah, and if
Um,
you have more topics, you should leave them in the comments as
and
well.
if you have more topics, leave them in the comments.
Mhm.
Because we like to talk, y'all. So,
Yeah, because
if you don't like this one, we'll find something else.
we actually said that our church bulletin episodes were going to be 30 minutes, and it's laughable because we thought that we could talk in 30 minutes or 45
Yeah,
minutes.
we
This is
did.
cool, about to be an hour and a half, but that's fine because we're just really about to just start dropping 2 episodes a week, and one of the episodes will be the church bulletin
Yes.
on
So
whatever happened that week, okay?
So yeah, we love you. Press all the buttons, do all the things, like,
Mhm.
comment, subscribe. If you are on Apple Podcasts, please leave a review. Even if, you have some negative feelings. We want to know. Like, we want to know
Yeah.
all of it so that we can make it better for you.
Yes,
You
but
help
don't
us
be too
help
mean,
you.
though. Don't be trying to talk
Correction
about my
and love.
crusty
We're going to
puff.
practice that. We're going to practice correction and love. If you love us
Yeah.
and if you love what we're doing and you want to join the fam, just click that subscribe button and you can tell us whatever you want us to see, want to see from us.
Yes. Do that. Do that.
Yeah. We love y'all and we'll see you or you'll hear us and see us next week.
You'll see us all the time.
All the
Every
time.
day. All the time. Oh, also, if you're on YouTube, we are dropping old clips all the time. So you can catch up. You don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want to, but you should. But just we'll be giving you little snippets all week. So be on the lookout for that. Okie dokie. Peace and
Bye.
love.